On this video, I'm continuing my brief inductive grammatical analysis of John 1 to 18, the prologue of John. We finished in arke ein halagas, kai halagas ein pras tantaan, kai teas ein halagas. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was face to face with God, and the Word was God. We also did verse 2 as we were continuing. We've done the grammar on that first verse. Hutas ein enarke plus tantaan. This one was in the beginning face to face with God. So now we come to verse 3. It reads, Panta diautu agenita, kai korisautu agenita, udechen ha geganen. All things through him came to be, and without him came to be not one thing which has come to be. Little vocabulary. Pas is an adjective meaning all. Dia, a preposition through. Autas, a pronoun masculine singular he. Choris, a preposition without. Genomai, the verb to become. Ude is an adverb not even. Hes mia hen, an adjective meaning one, and has, a relative pronoun who. Looking at the grammar, panta diautu agenita. Panta is an adjective from the word pas. Here it is a adjective neuter plural from pas. And panta means all. And we have to supply things, all things. Diautu, through him. Notice diautu is from dia, meaning through. And this preposition takes the genitive in autu. So all things through him. And we're looking at the agency of creation being Christ, the Logos. All things agenita. Agenita is a verb from genomai, and we go back to the present indicative active, the primary form. This is a middle form, but active in meaning. So we have what we should call a deponent verb here. All things through him had a beginning, and we would parse this as an aorist indicative middle, third person singular from genomai. So all things through him had a beginning. By the way, the principal parts of genomai are genomai, genesamai is your future middle, egenamen is your aorist middle. So that's what we have here is a second aorist middle, third masculine singular from the root genomai. And notice panta is a neuter plural. In Greek grammar, this often will take a singular verb, looking at something collectively. So all things came to be through him. Chorus ude hen, and without him, not one thing has come to be. Notice, reading it again, kai chorus tu agenita ude hen ha geganen, and without him came to be, another aorist indicative middle, third person singular from genomai. Udechen ha geganen. Not one thing which has come to be. So as we look at this phrase, not one thing, not even udechen. Hen means one, so not even one. And by the way, it is a neuter. And if we look at the word hes, it means one. The neuter then becomes hen. Not one thing came to be which ha gegonen, which has come to be. Notice ha here is a relative pronoun, neuter, nominative, singular. So not even one thing came to be which has come into being. We would translate this, that has come into being. Gegonen is the perfect indicative active third person singular from the root genomai. Notice there is a reduplication here in the prefix indicating a perfect. Gegonen. Gegonen. This is what we call a second perfect. Most perfects have a reduplication, like leluka, if we're looking at luo. I have loose. For all practical purposes, we could say that this is a second perfect with its own stem change, like a second aorist. Not one thing has come into being without him, and so all things came into being through him, and without him into being, not one thing came, which has come into being. Not one thing came into being. So it might be good just to learn the declension for genomai, genomai, genesamai, and egenamein, and so forth. Learn that as you're working through this would help. So all things through him came to be, and without him came to be not one thing which has come into being. Notice Jesus here is the source of all things. It was through him that all things came to be. Without him, not anything has come into being which has come to be. So John wants us to know that Jesus is literally the source of all things, that he is the creator, that he is the giver of life relative to everything that has any beginning, has a beginning. So all things have had a beginning, in contrast to Jesus, who had no beginning, who is eternal and was always face to face with the Father.